My name is Eric Houston at the North Miami Public Library. Thank you for joining me for Art and Storytime. Today we're going to be reading Life with My Family by Renee Hooker and Carl Jones, illustrated by Catherine Durst, published by Penguin Workshop. Life with My Family. Life with my family is not always easy. So sometimes, I wonder what else we could be. As a pod of pelicans, we'd soar above trees. No time to fight as a busy swarm of bees. As a school of fish, we'd swim among the bubbles. As a herd of buffalo, flies would be our only troubles. As a playful pride of lions, we'd hunt and we'd trap. As a pandemonium of parrots, we'd squawk and we'd flap. As a smack of jellyfish, we'd float clear as glass. As a wisdom of wombats, we'd waddle through grass. But as animals, I guess we might have problems too. What if they tried to take my little brother to the zoo? Life isn't always easy with my family. But while we're together, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. The end. I'm Eric Houston at the North Miami Public Library. Thank you again for joining me for Art and Storytime. Bye. Hi, I'm Eric Houston at the North Miami Public Library. Thank you for joining me again for Art and Storytime. Today, we'll be using a black marker, colored markers, but you can also use colored pencil or watercolor or tempera paint, whatever you like, as long as you can make color with it. And a light pencil to start off by drawing first. So I've already drawn out the main character. I'm going to outline it, starting with the black pen. So the overall head shape is basically, so once we make the head, which is a half cup, we'll start again by going into the body of the neck, and that's just pipe shape for the neck. two arms come out like so. Then we'll go ahead and draw the hand. So it should almost look like a bone shape almost. And next we'll draw the other arm. Two parallel lines connected to two parallel lines. And we'll make the hand shape here. This shape of the hand is on the hip, so it's gonna look a little different from this one. This one's on the seat. So next we'll draw a bit of an S shape for the legs. There's that S shape again. And we'll draw another half cup. She has a little pouch on her overalls. While we're on the topic of overalls, let's draw the other strap. And let's go down into these socks, which are gonna look like two small, I wanna say kidney bean shape, but if you don't know what a kidney bean shape is, think of almost two teardrops. And now for the ears, we'll draw two nice half circles that start about in the middle of our half cup. Next, I'll start working on the hairline. So you just want to make, again, a line that goes perpendicular to the top of the head, which just means you want to draw two lines that are next to each other. And then we'll draw a little bob in the front of her hair, or a little bang. So we'll draw a swoop for that. And now we're ready to start drawing the hair. Now she has locks of hair, dreadlocks, so we're gonna go ahead and draw a lot of S shapes. They'll look like worms almost until we color them in. And again, you can make yours have dreadlocks, you can make it have hair like you have. Your main character can be a boy. If you identify with the story and want to make your illustration personal. So again, drawing these S shapes. Drawing more and more S shapes. And now let's draw the face. So for the face, just above the two ears, we're gonna place the eyes. And the eyes, we want them to fall in between these two bangs. So go ahead and draw a rounded oval shape that stops just below that bang. And let's give her some eyebrows. And eyebrows are a great way to add character, so feel free to draw that however you'd like. I'm just gonna draw two circles for the pupil. Almost a circle, but don't close it. And then you have the nose. Two half circles for the little nostrils. And then one half circle under the nose, about the same width as the nose. So now that we have our character drawn, let's begin coloring. So I'm gonna start with a thicker black marker. I'm gonna start coloring in the hair. And again, at any point, if you want to make the hair color brown or whatever color you like, feel free. Red, teal, you're more than welcome. I personally like just the black. So that's what I'm going to do for mine. And once we're done with the hair, we'll go and we'll start painting the clothing, and then we'll end with the body and the background, which is just a couch that she's sitting on. And when you're coloring or drawing or making any sort of artwork, you always more or less want to start with a drawing. So you'll see with my drawing here today, I started with a light sketch. And the purpose of that is your sketch is going to serve as your plan. Your sketch is your blueprint. So I start with a sketch, and I fill it in no matter if I'm doing a painting, a mural, even a drawing. I start with a sketch, and then I may redraw that sketch into a final drawing and clean up the lines, clean up the edges. I may find a new shape. I may find a new edge. So really starting with that sketch and then going into coloring, it gives you a second opportunity to look at your piece and maybe make slight changes. Oh. While I got the black out, I'll go ahead and fill in the pupils. I'm gonna also make her eyebrow a little bit thicker. And if you're at home and you're using marker, make sure you have something underneath your paper, like another sheet of paper, so you don't have any bleed through from the marker onto a table or anything like that. So make sure you have some newspaper or another sheet of paper underneath your paper that you're working with. So I'm gonna begin by first painting her overalls blue. And also be sure, before you go into painting or coloring in, that your outline is dry completely. And if you want to just outline it in pencil only, you can do that as well. Just be mindful that it may smudge. Okay. And now, a little yellow for her socks, just to give them a little character. No pun intended. And next, let's color the shirt, which is just white and green stripes. So again, we're making a bunch of parallel lines, one on top of another, and leaving a space in between for the white. And then we'll do half circle at the neck, where the collar is. And now we're ready to paint, or color in rather, the actual skin tone. So I have a light brown color that I'm using. Again, you can use whatever color you'd like. If you want to make it whatever color you have on hand that's as close as possible. And if you are using marker, again, be mindful that the marker may bleed as you color. So instead of coloring at the line, color just before the line and let the ink bleed into the next piece. And if you need to go back because something's white, you can just touch it like that and fill it in lightly. And depending on your markers, you may want to have a scrap sheet of paper with you as well in case your marker picks up another color. You can use that sheet of paper to remove that color from your marker. So for instance, if I were using a yellow marker and I touched some blue and now my yellow marker has blue on it, I can go back to that scrap sheet of paper and just color in with the yellow until the blue comes off. how you can clean your markers. It's one way. Here. I made a little mistake here, went too far, but I'm just gonna go ahead and make her eyes have a little eyelid, a lower eyelid. Now, just a little dark brown. Part is totally optional, but I'm going to use it to add a little shading. And all I'm doing is just on one side, start from the middle and go to the top. Start from the where the ear connects and go to the top. So all of your shadows will be on one side. And in this case, it's the right side. Color in the nostrils, make those darker. I'll go ahead and use blue again for the couch. Yeah. And I'm turning my paper to the side only because it's just a little easier for me to make these longer lines. But you may not have as much trouble with that as I do, so you may not need to do that. And then lastly, we're just gonna fill everything in. And once I get it filled in pretty decently, I'm gonna go back and just hit all those detail areas in between the hair. For instance, that I have the blue as close as I like. But I always tend to color in the largest spaces first and then go back and fill in any details. So when you're coloring and you're coloring the edges, you want to take your time and focus in, because the edges are going to really define what's in the middle of the shape. So where one color meets another color, that's a very important part all over your artwork. No matter if you're painting, doing a mural, or if you're just sketching with colored pencils. The edge is really gonna define the piece, and it's gonna make your piece either look clean or not as clean as it can be. And the way it looks clean is by having a consistent edge throughout the entire artwork. And there you have it. How'd your character turn out? I think mine's came out pretty cool. Thank you for joining me again at the North Miami Public Library. I'm Eric Houston, and this has been Art and Storytime.